Good day, YouTube. I'm Daniel Claremont, and I'm the Acadian Therapist. First off, I want to thank those who've taken the time to subscribe to my channel and to like my first video. Though sometimes I'm a bit crunched for time, and if I'm honest, at the moment I'm making the very big sacrifice of taking a break from shoveling my driveway of snow. Hoping to keep putting up videos, which I hope that you'll find helpful. And so today, we're going to cover the very important topic of breathing. Yes, where would we be without breath? And the long list of therapists, guidance counselors, yoga teachers, meditation teachers, and many more who teach us how to breathe. Okay, fair enough. One of the first questions I like to ask questions when they first come to see me is, have you seen a counselor before? And if so, what worked or what didn't? And what gets me the most eye rolls is breathing exercises. Now, at the end of this video, I do a brief guided breathing exercise. I'll put a note below of the time if you want to skip straight to it. But first, if you'll bear with me, I'd like to talk about sometimes why breathing strategies like this might be helpful, and sometimes when they really not be helpful at all. Um, the most common time I recommend breathing exercises, and honestly, when I practice them myself, is when someone is feeling intense emotions. The most obvious ones would be when we're feeling really overwhelmed or stressed or angry, nervous, scared. A less obvious time would be when we feel depressed or when we feel brain fog or kind of numb. To understand why, I'd like to explain a bit about biology and evolution. And if evolution isn't part of your beliefs, that's totally okay. Biology and what's happening in your body is plenty to get this concept. So I want you to think about the distant past. Our ancestors lived in a much more dangerous place with a lot of threats which we needed to fight or run away from or play dead to convince the predator to move on. Uh, in fact, our ancestors' bodies had to learn how to do this even before brains developed to do what we usually call thinking and talking. And so now, an unbelievable number of years later, our brains are still better at survival than thinking. One of my favorite examples I like to use with clients is, imagine we hear a loud bang outside. Do you think I'll say, well, that's odd. Normally I don't hear bangs like that. Yeah, I'm a little bit startled. If you don't mind for a moment, I think I'm just going to jump. Yeah, it seems like a good idea. No, of course not. I'll jump first, even before a thought enters into my brain that something has happened. That's because my body has gone on autopilot. The clever survival part of the brain picked up on a threat, even before I knew what it was doing. It got me breathing faster, got adrenaline in my blood, tensed up my muscles, everything it would need for a saber-toothed tiger attack. And so not only is the thinking part of the brain late to the party, it doesn't work so well and has little control over the survival part of the brain, which is why it's darn near impossible to think our way out of intense things, or why telling ourselves or someone else to calm down rarely works. I'm sure absolutely nobody has tried this strategy before. The good news is, one thing our thinking brain can usually do, if we catch our emotions before getting too intense, is to change how we're breathing. The idea is, when we change breathing into a different and usually slower pattern than what survival brain wants to do, it lowers the amount of oxygen in the blood. Survival brain notices this, and it says, huh, we're breathing calmly. Well, we wouldn't do that if there was danger. I guess we can stop cranking out all this adrenaline, and then we slowly calm down. But what about those who say that these kind of things, these strategies, don't work for them? Don't worry, you're not doing anything wrong. There are a lot of reasons why breathing alone won't be too helpful. A few reasons for this might be really efficient survival system. Your survival brain has practiced being anxious or angry or depressed so long, it's really good at it. So the reaction is easily triggered. Maybe you don't even know why. It kicks in so much faster than your thinking brain can even notice a trigger. And the reaction is so intense. So again, it takes a long time to wear off. Trauma. I've worked with a lot of trauma survivors, and sometimes focusing on the breath gets people focusing on parts of the body which feel unsafe to them, like the chest or the belly. So focusing on the breath re-triggers survival brain, which makes things worse. Real danger. If we try to calm ourselves when our brain is still picking up on danger, either here in the present or in past dangerous times like old memories or thoughts, the body won't let itself calm down because there's a real threat. Gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia. Sorry for the complicated words. I try to stay away from labels, but these are basically folks who have had really good reasons to feel unsafe in their bodies. So usually I suggest other strategies to help these folks bring their thinking brains back online. For these more complicated situations, and there are more, we would work together to find solutions which fit your situation and needs better. For now, I'm going to serve up just the simplest breathing exercise that I've got. And so I'll just ask you to just sit comfortably, or if you're standing, whatever, just make sure that you're somewhere you won't be disturbed for a few moments. And just, if it helps, you can close your eyes or you can leave your eyes open. That's perfectly fine. And so what I'm going to get you to just notice is just take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And so when you breathe in through the nose, it's a short breath in and out through the mouth. You'll notice I'm breathing out longer than I breathe in. And it's a bit of a softer breath when you breathe out. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can keep breathing like that. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you keep going, breathing in like this, in through the nose and out through the mouth, I want you to try to notice the coolness of the air on your nostrils. It's a hard thing to notice, but see if you can notice that. And that's great. Another technique we can talk about is called square breathing or box breathing. I believe the US military calls it tactical breathing to make it sound more tactical. But whatever you call it, the technique is about the same. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. This one works great for kids. Again, not all kids and not in all situations, but it's easy to draw a little square on a piece of paper or on the back of a hand as a reminder, or to trace with their finger while breathing around the square. Sometimes I suggest sticking a picture like this on the fridge or bathroom mirrors. The more we practice anything, the better we get at it, and the better chance of remembering it when things are really tough. And of course, when parents practice with their kids, even better. I don't believe in the parent who has no stress. All right, everyone. That's all I've got for this time. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time. If there's anything you want me to talk about in particular, you can go to my website, acadiantherapist.com. Just send me a message and I'd happily hear any requests you've got. Take care. Be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye.